welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. Still in the middle of all these, what I think are the final side quests. So there's one more out away from the hideout, and there's 4 more in the hideout. So it'll probably take 2 more episodes. At least 2 more episodes for me to
a fortress?
Get all the side quests complete. And there's still one hunt / notorious mark I need to do. And then I would like to at least attempt at doing all the trials you get from the stone plaques located all across the world.
What say you then? Will you stand with me?
So there's much to do before we tackle on the final boss.
One of the Duke's guard, most likely.
Yeah. Are all the NPCs still saying are they still saying the same stuff around here? Probably.
It's not only control of the garrison he wants, it's the whole of Northreach.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna put a cherry on top of this thing.
Do you have a moment, Clive?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier, if only for a few nights.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak. I trust you'll forgive me, Clive.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
Please, proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him by all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry.
Father-daughter quarrel.
Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together. The task of organizing the town watch has been taking up a great deal of Philippe's time of late. And the rest he spends guarding the main gate to the markets. You'll find him there, most likely.
Your town needs you. I need you. But the Duke would have me clapped in irons.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Because he handed it in along with his sword. Said he'd find a better way to protect the town.
Hang the Duke and his bloody garrison. The bastard's naught but a craven who'd rather hide behind his toy soldiers than fight.
The Lord leaves his tower to build a new keep. Her town split asunder, the lady, she weeps.
And from the pot came a terrible cry. Give me an elixir! Give me an elixir! And did they give him one?
Is that a Final Fantasy VII reference? To those little things at the end of the game?
She said, the Duke won't stop until the town is his. Are we going to allow that?
Welcome back. Wraiths give you any trouble?
None worth mentioning. They're staying put for now.
How long will it take to repair Caernarvon?
That depends, your lordship. Much of the fort will need rebuilding entirely.
One at a time now. There's enough for everyone.
Thank you. We won't forget this.
We don't have much, but the dame had us empty the Vale's larders to see these poor souls fed. Because that is what we do.
If you ask me, it's about time they made a few sacrifices. We're the ones risking our lives.
Oh yeah, but...
Hang the Duke and his bloody... The bastard's naught but a craven who'd rather hide behind his toy soldiers than fight.
Duke might have soldiers at his beck and call. Us common folk follow the Dame, no one else.
What does the Dame have to say about all this, I wonder?
Surely she can't allow it.
You've heard then? The Duke plans to make Northreach a fortress and would have the townspeople pay for it. We are not only to build his walls, but feed his army and fill his stores, all for the privilege of living under his rule.
What did the Duke expect? That the merchants would just smile and hand over the keys to their coffers?
Sorry, but I've got a job to do here.
He'd have our coin, our stock and our stalls, and we're just supposed to hand the whole lot over?
What other choice do we have?
I'll take my chances in the world before I let some noble take any more of my coin.
The Dame actually cares about this town, unlike the Duke. He's only interested in picking our pockets to line his own.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't cooperate.
Then we'll just post our own!
The way things are going at the garrison, it'll be up to us to defend the town soon.
With what? Some carrots and a collar of brawn?
The Duke only wishes to see us all safe, and he cannot do that without coin. I don't see what's so difficult to understand.
And I don't see you turning out your pockets.
What's the point in us staying here then?
So you are content to abandon the people to their fates?
I'm not.
Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
Stay down!
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. But now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
Oh, fuck. No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
Whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I've fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
See that you come back safe, Clive. And we shall do everything we can to ensure the town is still here when you do.
When the fighting begins, we can take refuge in the barracks. We'll be safe there.
I have served the Duke for many years, and I hope to do so for many more. But I cannot turn my back on these people. Our people.
Merciful creature. Wherefore would you forsake me?
Father.
Captain said to bring our wounded here. I want steel in the hands of every man or woman willing to fight.
We can help with the wounded.
Hopefully you won't have to.
Just leave it to Clive. He's got it all covered.
I hear they're handing out swords at the barracks. Those with the worst wounds are to be treated here. See that the beds are made up.
If fight I must, then fight I shall. For us.
As I knew you would.
And you're here to fight.
If you'll give us swords.
This is not a tale, children. The monsters are coming. We have to hide.
What about the knights? They'll save us, won't they?
If any get by, you can trust we'll be here to meet them head on.
got the intense music at the stop.
This is more like it. Come on then. Test me. It's only just begun.
There probably will be a boss-like enemy at the end of all this. Whoa, there it is right there. Fuck.
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His Radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, my lady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
You too are a friend of Madame Isabel's, are you not? The sellsword won over to the cause by her brave example. Remarkable.
I only wanted what was best for Northreach, for Sanbreque, and I still do. But this time, I will go about things the right way, in concert with others, rather than in spite of them.
Thanks for your help, Clive. We couldn't have done it without you. Now all we need is for their eminences to start pulling their weights.
Can we get you anything? A room at the Ville would be nice.
Thanks for standing with us.
I'm sorry we didn't sooner.
There's no need to worry any longer.
One of the dames, aren't you? Leave it to her to spot an able body.
In more ways than one.
When darkness descended, the line did not break. Though full sorely tested, secure was their fate.
Now, what story would you like to hear next?
The one in the coffer!
All right then. There once was a dragon with scales as white as snow who hid inside a strongbox.
Maybe that's a reference to,
Will you lend me a hand? They're still injured in the markets.
Of course.
a reference to, one of the enemies that could pop out of a treasure box in one of the older Final Fantasy games. Monster in a box.
You held your own out there.
Held me own? I was so scared I could barely hold the piss in my bladder.
What were you thinking? You could have been...
The battle is over. How long must I hold this thing?
We did it. We saved the markets.
You should have seen the man. Spin, parry, thrust. A right dervish he was.
Those merchants are a vicious lot. Remind me not to cross them.
We rained fire down on their heads.
And burned them to a crisp.
Pretty morbid. Okay, was this always here? Seriously? Am I just missing these chests, or are they just appearing later on?
I could give you another elixir, but what you really need is a bed.
Just sleep it off. You'll be fine. That's a reference to the ongoing joke in the Final Fantasy in a Nutshell videos on YouTube. Shout out to those videos.
You can't call something yours unless you're willing to fight for it. Tinker, tailor, soldier, serf, we all fought for this place, for Northreach. And now no one can take it from us.
Those we didn't slay have fallen back to the hills. I hazard they won't be bothering us for some time.
Just a little further.
This the last one?
We did it! Kiss me.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
They'll be well taken care of, I'm sure.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help.
You've helped quite enough for one day, Clive. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must. After all you've done for this town, it is the very least you deserve.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? A woman of your means could find a home anywhere in the realm, but I sense you would rather have died here.
It's a long story.
For you, madame, I have all the time in the world.
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the veil that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
Alright, another signboard. Clive has a big collection for signboards.
We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep her together. For if this town is to survive, we must all play our part. Including you, Clive. We have brought Northreach together. Now the fight begins to keep her together. For if this town is to survive...
If things don't work out with Jill, I think I should get free service here for the rest of my life. Thank you. Alright, it's not really enough time in the episode to start another side quest, but I think I want to try and fit in this notorious mark. Oh shit, we got some new ones here. Well, that changes my mind then. Interesting. So we might even get one or two more by completing the rest of the quest. Alright, I'll save them for later.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean the crystal is massive. Why?
Let's go to the chambers real quick. I think that's a straight up new quest. I don't think Gav had one last time I was around here. Round here. Before we depart, Ifrit, you have my sincerest gratitude for reuniting me with Master Hippocrates. That I might embark upon this most important of journeys, my heart free of regret, though in these past few moons I have come to realize that the longer I spend in the company of you and your brother, the deeper I find myself in your debt. We must swiftly see to the menace that is Ultima, if not to save the world, to save me from an eternity of recompense. Dion. Safe returns. Thank you, Clive, for ever indulging the whims of this doddering old soul. I am ashamed that for far too many years I allowed stubbornness and fear to keep me from something so simple as letting a friend know how proud I was of him. Your intervention has lifted a heavy pall from my heart. Perhaps upon your triumphant return from the skies, you might be inclined to set to page that quill I gifted you. There are many of us who would hear a first-hand account of your time in with the Holy Prince, myself included. Hippocrates II. A new day. I am not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town unchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart. Just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its grime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and bucket of lye. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace or to waste it. A wise man once said, the night is always darkest before dawn. It is a good thing, then I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends. Lubor. A note of thanks, my Lord Marcus. I write to thank you for the kind consideration you have shown for those whose names are written within the pages of the Book of Martyrs. Ignore that. I know that it would move them deeply to know that the first shield of the Phoenix laments their passing. Though each and every member of our border stands ready to sacrifice their lives in the service of the Phoenix, I do not doubt that those who are taken before their time go with regret for the long years of duty left undone, that they should live on in the memory of a proud son of House Rossfield, such as yourself, shall surely go some way to soothing their sorrows. Cyril, may the Phoenix's flame burn ever in your heart. Cyril, bearer of the burning quill. That which conquers all. Here, not long removed from when last you placed yourself between us in peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try and find the words to somehow express the gratitude of an entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we learned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere, in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which should have been apparent all along. We are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? It is this love that has united us and given us true strength. Should every thrall, Akashic bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Isabel. I like to think Clyde just goes up to all these people and he's like, well, first of all, they're like, Clive, thanks for your help. You've been a big help to us. Is there anything we can do? And Clive was just like, yes, can I have your signboard? And they're like, our signboard? Well, of course. I just have a big collection of signboards. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. Until next time.